curious thing about time is that in its ephemeral present existence, it is practically nothing and everything at the same time. It is very likely that as I write a single letter, in that millisecond, someone will hit a hammer in the next room, exactly in that infinitesimal fraction in which countless spontaneous acts occur in the universe. If we were able to see that fraction of a second in all its splendor, that is, to observe each of those events separately and simultaneously in the actual temporal portion they occupy, the spectacle would undoubtedly be incomparable. It is to be expected that upon reaching the central point, the heart of the vortex, the spheres will intermingle in such a way that it becomes impossible to distinguish them, which will undoubtedly compress all of time into a single timeless capsule or bubble, the result of the final extinction of immediate notions. At that point, the first thing that should be suppressed in the conceptual field is memory, because any recollection would bring things back to this apparent reality in which I believe I am now. That is, everything would return to the Creator's feigned normality. Every time I think about this, I must confess, I am overcome by an uncontrollable dread. The fear of getting lost in such a nebula clouds my vision and, at times, seems to dissuade me. That's why I write, so that at least what's important may survive those stormy moments of reason and thought.
In the end, Cecily would always manage to convince me. The highway was the same old chaos, a heavy rain falling in intermittent lashes. We passed the terminal and followed a paved road until the lights faded and everything was fields and dim streetlights, and I hate driving in the mud. So there we were now. The reason why we'd finally decided to go out, even in such heavy rain, was simple. Cecily's friend Sonia was getting engaged to Andrew after a lifetime together. They'd been planning it all for a long time, and we couldn't let them down. The house owned by Sonia's parents had that empty stillness of uninhabited spaces. Though newly built, it smelled faintly of damp air and welcomed guests into a huge room. All 4 bedrooms, said Sonia, had already been provided with clean sheets.
And all of them were white. He opens and closes his eyes. Bright dots. The dots become circles. The circles become flowers. In the deep darkness of his closed eyelids, Julian sees a floral dress. The rigid, sensual silhouette of a sculpture kisses him, marble-like, with a barely perceptible stony smile. They both remain on that sidewalk of the anti-world, now with calcareous tears running down their cheeks, those of flesh and those of stone. He has been kissed by a somber face, an antiquity of countless chisels and blows, the work of an artist blurred by time. It is the work, it is the stone that looks at him, and begs for an eternity of absences. He is helpless before that immutable relief. He is weak, defenseless in the face of that rocky cruelty that seduces him, a fury that demands endless licenses and endless lethargy.